Hey everyone, Rob Nunnery here. Welcome to another edition of Destination Pickle. Today we are in Atlanta, Georgia at Pullman Yards, which I'm really excited about because not only does it have pickleball, not only does it have food and beverage, but it has amazing culture and historical significance in the Atlanta area. So we're really excited to dig in. We're gonna try some food, beverage, play a little pickle. This is the Pullman Yards edition of Destination Pickle. Today we are in Atlanta, Georgia at Pullman Yards, and I am fortunate enough to be here with...
I'm Naki. I'm the event coordinator here at Pullman Yards. Pretty self-explanatory role. I book a lot of the events. I'm the first person you're talking to if you want to do something at our site.
And she's going to take us around today to check out all that Pullman Yards has to offer. So let's check it out. All right, so as you first come into Pullman Yards in the parking lot, you walk in. Immediately you see the pickleball courts on the left, bocce here. But Naki, we just want you to walk us through what we have coming through the main entrance here.
For sure. So yeah, pickleball and bocce. We've got a covered patio for you to hang out on. All of these painted storage containers around us open up to be bars. Cool. So they're open up whenever we have community events, artist markets, dance parties, block parties, whatever we're having out here for the community. We have a fire pit for the wintertime where, you know, some like summer bonfire action. Right
beside the pickleball courts and the pickleball tent, on the other side of that is Dailies.
Yeah, so Dailies and Sides is our movie-themed restaurant, paying homage to all of the different films that have been shot on site. So we've got movie stills from those lining all the walls, and then our menu items are kind of like a play on word of different movies. So we've got like the poultry geist for our chicken bacon sandwich and the Frankenweenie, which is our hot dog.
Speaking of Frankenweenie, you mentioned that this is Hot Dog Week in Atlanta, which you know, I don't know if it's a big deal. It seems like a big deal.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, so you have a special hot dog this week.
We do. This week we're featuring a hot dog with our delicious house-made potato salad on it, a pickle spear, and our house-made chips.
Pickle sphere. I mean, that's it's
like a pickleball, right?
It's perfect. And to the other side of Dailies and Sides, you have Fishmonger, which, to my knowledge, is one of the hottest up-and-coming restaurants in the country.
It is. They have delicious seafood, great raw bar, delicious cocktails. You should check them out later.
Oh, I'm getting hungry and thirsty, so better believe it. So one thing that you don't really get a sense of coming from the outside is the scale of this place. Like, this place is gigantic, and this is a connected building with other connected buildings. So just tell us a little bit about where we are. Yeah,
so the building that is the most iconic building that we have here, with the big blue letters across the top, we just walked through there. That interior is being built out right now for a concept that we have called the Alcohol. So it's kind of like a food hall with niche beer, wine, and spirit brands that are going in. And the idea is for people to come, have fun, hang out, learn about the distilling process of all of those different brands, learn the brand story, and just kind of hang out, have fun, and try. As we walked through there, this is connected with another hallway, and now we're in Porter Hall, which is named after the Pullman Porters, who were a large part of helping make, you know, the Pullman Company a success. The Pullman Company revolutionized rail travel back in the day by putting in these luxury sleeper cars. So that allowed people to travel from one end of the country to the other, sleep on the trains, eat, dine, hang out. Our site was the train repair center for those luxury sleeper cars.
Very cool. So it was like the original luxury travel.
It was.
Really?
It was. It wasn't until air travel became famous that I mean, they're wildly popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see the old airplanes where they're smoking inside, and you know, like this tables, dining. It's wild. So I'm imagining that when I think about it.
It was definitely luxurious travel. The stewards of those luxury sleeper cars were the Pullman Porters, and so this is why we named this hall Porter Hall. A gentleman named A. Philip Randolph fought for better wages, better working conditions, and better hours for those Pullman Porters, and he was able to unionize them, and the Brotherhood of the Sleeper Car Porters became the first African-American labor union in the US. So
cool.
A lot of civil rights history here as well.
Yeah, so what was this building originally used for?
So half of the building was used in 1904 while Pratt Engineering Company owned the property.
Got it.
They manufactured fertilizer bombs for World War I.
Gotcha.
They also developed and patented a liquid carbonated gas that was later purchased by the Coca-Cola Company when they were just getting started.
Also here in Atlanta.
Also here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then when the Pullman Company purchased the property, they built onto this building, so they extended this building, and you can kind of see that in the architectural changes in it. This building was a foundry, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we talked about how these buildings are kind of interconnected, and you have the main exhibit hall where the alcohol exhibit's going, which led to Porter Hall. Where does this hall lead us to?
This is going to actually, if we go out back here, we'll go by the stage where we have big concerts. We have a Pullman Pop Symphony Orchestra that plays here.
Very cool.
We've hosted a ton of corporate events, concerts, festivals, you name it. It's been a really wild ride. We've had about over 1.5 million people come through our site since we opened, and we've only been open for just under 2 years.
No way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just the scale of this place, like I said at the beginning, is just a little nuts to me. And we talked about a little bit is like how would music sound in here? And you said the owners are from the film industry.
Yeah.
And it's kind of designed for music and
yeah,
sound.
it is. It's designed to be like a concert hall.
Yeah.
Really, there's a ton of sound quality, foaming and stuff like that. I'm not really
Technical stuff that we don't need to know.
That's not for me,
Yeah.
but everybody that plays here loves it. The symphony orchestra is probably my favorite thing. That sound like it just sounds like rich. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing this. Let's check the next hall out.
Yeah.
Just came outside from the largest building, Porter Hall, and now we are standing here on a transfer table, which, you know, I'm no train expert, but I'm not completely familiar with the transfer table. So can you give us some context and some background on what this is?
Sure. So since this was the train repair center, the trains would come rolling up onto this transfer table. It would move up and down this big wide open space right here. And actually in Porter Hall, these trains would get like pushed into each of these different bays that are lining this building right here. The cranes that we use for the rigging inside Porter Hall are original to the site. So those cranes would come down and pick up the train, put them into the space, and then get worked on, and then they would get put back onto this transfer table and shipped out onto the rails again.
It's wild. It's very cool. Would have no idea about that regardless. But yeah, now all the bays make sense and this thing makes sense.
Yeah.
Very cool that it's still here. When was it? Do you know when this was first built?
I'm not sure when this was first built, but the Pullman Company did purchase the property in 1926, so somewhere circa around then. Rumor has it still moves, so it's actually, I think, still operational, can go up and down this for as long as the rails go.
Very cool. Well, where are we heading next?
We are going to head over into Building 6, which is the last historical building to be restored.
Love it. Let's do it. So just coming from the transfer table, we are now standing in Building 6, which is just a very unique and cool space. Behind us, we have a furnace. Don't know what it's for, but that's why we have Naki here. So yeah, give us some context and background on Building 6 here.
So this is the last historic building for us to restore. We have successfully been able to get most of the buildings done within about 1.5 years or so. Behind us is actually like an iron kiln. And what they would do is they would put iron and like big pieces of iron inside of it and heat it up so they could become malleable and shape them or repair them for however they would need to for the rail cars.
Makes sense. And what are you going to be using this space? You said it's the last building you're going to restore. Mm-hmm. So what do you guys see this space being?
So this is going to be probably one of our most popular event, gala, wedding spaces. It's just got a ton of really gorgeous natural light. All of the windows that we have in here have been restored using the original material by a master welder. All of the glass has been hand cut. None of the frames are uniform. This behind us is going to stay as an open air atrium with the live trees growing up through the roof. Those are all original to the site. There's actually a tree growing from the furnace itself.
It seems like the perfect event space, and that's the first thing I noticed walking in here is just the windows and how beautiful the natural light is. Even on a cloudy, rainy day, it's still unreal.
Yeah.
So this place is unbelievable. So thank you for showing us around.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, here at Pullman Yards, we are at Dailies and Sides. I'm here with Carson Kern, a bartender here, and he's gonna walk us through a couple of their signature cocktails.
Yeah, first one I'm gonna do is our Midsommar. It's a gin-based drink. It's got lavender syrup, a little bit of lemon juice, and a little bit of, it's kind of like a Collins, so it's got a little bit of bubbles in it too. And then after that, I'm gonna do our drink, the Godfather. It's kind of our take on an old-fashioned. But we use sorrel, and we also have a little bit of brown sugar in there too, so it's a little bit more delectable version of it. Yeah, all right, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make the Midsommar first. So I'm gonna start with a shot of gin. After that, I'm gonna try to do a couple of squirts of syrup here for the lavender. Balance it out here with about 3/4 of lemon. I'm gonna shake it up. We get the glass ready here. Oh yeah, most important thing actually, to give it a little bit more of a beautiful color, we put a little bit of edible glitter in there because you drink a cocktail with your eyes first. So let me put a little bit of this in there. A little bit there. All right. Give it one more shake here. Nice purple color. Top it off with a little bit of bubbles here. Great. And then this gets tiniest bit of lavender. All right. All set. Cheers. So for our second drink, I'm gonna make our version of a old-fashioned. We call it the Godfather. Starts off with a big ice cube, of course. Next, I'm gonna get a little ice in here. Get a nice hefty shot of whiskey. We use a little bit of sorrel. It's kind of a hibiscus flavor. I put a little bit of brown sugar in my sweetener. Gotta have the bitters, of course. And I give it a nice swirl here. Sexy. Right there. Sexy it is. And then of course, gotta have orange peel here. So you get some of the aromas on your hand, put it on top, put it on the glass like this. Set it inside. Cheers.
Appreciate Carson here making the Midsommar and the Godfather. Do a little cheers here in a second, but after these cocktails, we're gonna head to eat some food, see what they have to offer here at Dailies and Sides. Thanks so much, Carson. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
While I love pickleball, this is probably my favorite segment, the food segment. So today we are with Ash here at Dailies and Sides. Ash is the restaurant manager, and she's gonna walk us through what we have in front of us today.
Okay, here you have our house Coca-Cola barbecue wings. We brine these overnight, we take them out the next day, we season them for a few more hours before we hand batter and fry them. Here you have your handmade fries, you have our house seasoning, secret ingredients to add.
Just like Coca-Cola.
Yeah, just like Coca-Cola. You have your hand-cut potato chips, your brisket burger with bacon, lettuce, and American cheese.
It looks
Very good.
delicious. Let's try it. Let's dig in. fan of the bun. I feel like buns make or break burgers. You know, like when you have like the crumbly buns that fall apart or get soggy. This has like a nice crisp outer bun, outer shell, if you will. And the burger itself, the meat, delicious. The brisket burger. Yeah, delicious. How about the chips? Chips are delicious. Yeah. Not Lay's. Much better. I'm usually actually, true story, I usually hate plain potato chips, battered with salt, because I feel like that plain's not a flavor, it's just nothing. But this actually tastes the potato, part of the potato chip, which potato with salt's actually nice, so I'm into it. This place is epic. Obviously there's a lot of films that are shot here, so this is kind of a tribute to that. So to be able to, you know, be surrounded on the walls by all the, you know, famous actors and actresses that have been here and shot their movies is really cool. So real pleasure to be here, and their food's amazing. Man, this is legit good. Okay, just keep holding the light. Alex too. Now we've got the Coca-Cola chicken wings, which I'm excited about because one, I love Coca-Cola, and two, I love chicken wings. I ate them last night. Sadly, it wasn't this flavor. I went to a place that was out of every flavor, but here we are. Life's good. Oh, this is a chunker. Actually, not what I expected. Softer. Moisture. Moisture? That's not a word. And people don't like when I use moist. So, that's what I tasted though, and this comes from the heart. Moisture. Moisture than I expected. Juicier? People don't like juicy either, but it's delicious. It does taste like Coca-Cola, like a little brown sugar-ish, cinnamon-ish, but amazing and robust. Okay, you can turn it off now. Let me eat in peace, come on. All right, sitting here at Pullman Yards, I am with Timothy Lamb. Thanks for joining us today. You're a regular player here at Pullman, and just wanted to get a sense of, well, one, what got you into pickleball?
Yeah, absolutely. Got into pickleball about a year ago. Spent my summer in New York, and other sports are a little prohibitive. Been playing tennis all my life, but couldn't play tennis there. So my friends were like, hey, come out to play pickleball. Ended up going on the public park, drew our own lines, and yeah, the rest is history. Been playing for about a year.
Yeah, what got you into it? So you started playing. What about it was like, outside of just being in New York and not having a tennis space, what was it about the actual sport that was like, man, this is kind of fun?
Yeah, it's addicting from the get-go, but it's very inclusive where you can play with different levels of players, but also everyone's kind of, you can compete with 4 people versus I think other sports, you have to find exactly the same level of players. So I like the social aspect. It's quite, when you're so close to each other, you can talk a bit of trash, but also, you know, socialize as well. So.
That is the fun part. It's unique, right? Because the tennis court, I see a tennis court now after playing pickleball for so long. I'm like, man, that court's gigantic. The racket's so long, the ball's so bouncy, and it's like, how did I ever play this sport in college? Like, I feel like this is a new sport, so it's interesting. How is pickleball here in Atlanta?
Yeah, no, it's definitely been growing. I think we have the Atlanta Pickleball Center out west, on the west side, which is a dedicated facility with, I don't know, 20 courts maybe indoors. So that's a good location, and I think that came up about a year ago, so you can definitely see the growth there. But it's nice that Pullman has put 3 over here. But other than that, you go to the public tennis courts, you see new lines being drawn. Some of the tennis courts that are kind of worn down and not played, you can see more and more people just jumping on. So it's a good scene out here.
Growing up in the Atlanta area, my dad played Alta, which is a big tennis league around here, and I'm always curious in different cities what the friction is or the relationship is between the tennis and pickleball, because it sounds like there's not a lot of dedicated courts yet here in Atlanta, so a lot of it's, you know, painted lines, chalk lines. What's the relationship between kind of the avid tennis player and avid pickleball player right now?
Yeah, I think I'm lucky to say I haven't seen firsthand myself, you know, playing tennis and having to have that debate with a pickleballer saying, hey, book this court for a while. But I think definitely the tension is there because tennis courts are tennis courts first, but with pickleball lines, I think it's a shared space now. But we're seeing more, I think I've seen tennis leagues where Alta out there, but also like they have the pickleball facilities. I think pickleball Alta is starting this summer, so I think more and more there'll be dedicated facilities to separate that friction.
Yeah, and it seems like the synergies are coming. Like you said, Alta's forever been a local tennis league here in Atlanta, and the fact that they're starting pickleball shows you that the demand's there, and that tennis and pickleball do need to coexist on some level and work together, because at the end of the day, we're all, you know, if you're outside playing tennis or pickleball, you're being active, you're in a social setting, it's great for everybody. So I think being able to coexist is an important part of it. Really appreciate you sitting down with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks so much. Here at Pullman Yards, I'm sitting with Sawyer, a regular here at Pullman as a player. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for inviting me. We're excited about you being here.
Yeah, anytime we can feature such a unique venue that has pickleball courts, that has event space, that has amazing restaurants.
This place is great.
We're here.
Yes.
So what brought you here? Well, what got you into pickleball first? I always like to learn kind of how people got involved in the sport. What brought you to it?
Well, I was a racquetball player back in the, 70s, 80s.
Okay.
And then I had a family and dropped out of that sport, and then I heard about pickleball, and I was like, this is really, really cool. And we had 3 dogs, and I was walking the dogs one day and going down the street and saw the sign. It said pickleball coming, and I was just really, really excited. I told my friends who live across from me, and so as soon as U opened, or as soon as Pullman opened, we came up here and started playing. We didn't know what we were doing. The first time we came, we borrowed their house rackets, and then we all went to the store that night and bought our own rackets.
Love it. So you got hooked right away then.
Oh yeah, we loved it.
What was it about the sport, especially coming from racquetball? So you had racket sport experience. What was it about pickleball as a sport that really hooked you?
Being outside, but the real hook for it is how much we laugh. It's just so fun. It's fun to play. It's even fun when you lose. You just can't wait to get back out there and play again.
Yeah, and it's really unique, right? Because the court, it's a small court, so you're very close. You can talk to each other, you can banter, you can laugh, like you said, which, you know, I come from the tennis world where the court's very big, and it's usually singles is the focus, and you're so far away from the person that there's not that social aspect that you get in pickleball, and I think you're absolutely right. That's kind of what hooks a lot of people. The athletic.
Tennis is serious.
Tennis is serious. Pickleball, you're just laughing and smiling.
Yes.
We are at Pullman Yards here for Destination Pickle, and I'm sitting down with Ryan Murray, who is a player here regularly at Pullman Yards. So just wanted to get a little background on you, what brings you here, and how long you've been playing. First off, well, thank you for joining us.
Of course.
And yeah, let's get into it. So what brought pickleball into your life?
Actually, my mom. We had some friends at Emory that played pickleball. I played table tennis, they knew I did. They added me to the pickleball Slack channel. I kind of ignored it for like 4 months and muted it. And then just randomly over Thanksgiving, my mom brought us a pickleball set from Miami. She's like, hey, you know, in Miami, pickleball's kind of like a thing now. Here's 4 cheap paddles. And my wife lives here, my brother lives here, my wife's brother lives here. So it kind of was like really perfect. 4 of us, 4 paddles. And I think over Thanksgiving, we're like, hey, let's go give this pickleball thing a try. We went to go play at one of the free parks down here. And I think we were just like, all 4 of us just like instantly hooked on it. It was really cool. My brother-in-law played tennis. Actually, both of them played tennis. So yeah, we just all got hooked. And then I was like, maybe I should give this pickleball Slack a little peek. Yeah. So kind of started answering things and going out to play with people. And then it was just snowball, like skipping class, playing pickleball all day.
What was it about pickleball that hooked you right away? Because I hear that from a lot of people, and a lot of times the answer is different. So what was it?
I think it's like, it's a little bit less intimidating than tennis. It's a great workout, and it's really forgiving. Like, ultimately, it's a plastic ball, composite paddle, and it's not like you have strings to worry about, crazy amounts of spin, even though I can put some hot spin on it every now and then. But it's very, like, I think the curve is really like relatively easy. Like I've introduced so many folks to pickleball, and I've been playing it for 7 months? Yeah. And they get in, they play a little bit, after 2 or 3 games, they're comfortable with it. And I think it's really being able to like come to the court, play on a Saturday, on a Sunday, on a Wednesday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon right now. It's really cool, different to like, I really like it as opposed to like going out and like going on the belt line and drinking and stuff. Like you get active, you get moving, and it's just a really cool way to spend a day.
And Pullman's cool because you have the courts here, you have Dailies here, which has food and beverage. So if you want to have a drink after, you can.
Yep.
This place as a whole, obviously there's a few places in Atlanta that you can play, and you choose this to be kind of your spot. Is that part of the reason?
Yeah, you can just spend the whole day here. Yeah. I have to go home and shower, but
if you want.
If you want. Yeah, you don't have to. We're all outside. So you can play pickleball here. I think it's really cool. Like even if I want to grab a beer and watch pickleball, like I'm still outside. There's something to do. I know Pratt Pullman also hosts a lot of events. Yep. Like Shaka Khan Hacienda was here. It's a big day party, and then just to have pickleball. It's almost like cool amongst the cool. I like when people watch us play pickleball because I've gotten to the point where I'm like I'm not terrible anymore. So sometimes you get a little bit of oohs and awesomes when you hit from the crowds when you hit a nice shot. So it is real cool.
Yeah, and with pickleball for you, just kind of getting into the scene here, what's been the vibe of pickleball in Atlanta as a whole right now?
It's like on a rocket ship right now. I think there's courts I go to and we're having to chalk our own lines. You come back like a month later and the city has put down lines for it. A lot of the courts, I think the Cap Tennis Center we play at, that has converted like one of their tennis courts into 4 dedicated. Atlanta Pickleball Center just has, well, not just open, but has been open. So like as you can see, the farther you go out from the city, the more pickleball courts are available, and it's just like, it's like every other day, like somewhere new pickleball court. Someone's like, have you played here? And I'm like, no, I didn't even know they had a pickleball court. And bada bing, bada boom. So hopefully like it keeps growing. Hopefully, I'm trying to convince my HOA to put one in at our townhouse complex, to be determined.
Love it though, because you hear about all the courts going up, but it's wild. It's why we have this show, is because the demand's so great for pickleball courts that even though you hear about all these venues going up and all these places having courts, it's nowhere near meeting the demand of,
not at all,
of how many people want to play and be on court. You go to parks right now in certain areas of the country and you have an hour wait to play one game. So it's like you said, it's on a rocket ship here, it's on a rocket ship everywhere. But really appreciate you taking the time. I know you have to help a friend move.
I do.
So you get after that. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you, Rob.
That's a wrap for this edition of Destination Pickle here at Pullman Yards in Atlanta, Georgia. Had a blast touring the facility today, from the pickleball courts to the warehouse space, event space, and from trying, of course, my favorite parts, the food and beverage. So as always, thanks so much for watching Destination Pickle. It's Destination Pickle, but we always do.